Wherever you may be listening to the show, however you're making this part of your day. Live from Los Angeles, I'm Doug Gottlieb in for Colin Cowherd. I think I butchered what he normally says to start the show every top of the hour, but close enough, right?
Wherever you're watching, however you're watching.
Yeah, but he does the Live from Los Angeles first, I think.
He does. But be you.
We have 3 more days to get it right. That's Holly Saunders, who's in for Christine Leahy. I'm Doug Gottlieb, in for Colin Cowherd, who's tweeting photos high above Las Vegas, at some point high above Utah.
Mm-hmm. Anyway. Do we have his address out? You tease you were giving that out now.
We do not have his address out yet. We can maybe post it later on.
Proceeds to charity. Don't worry,
later
Colin.
on in the week if we never want to work for the network ever again.
Right.
We'll discuss. Josh Rosen has had yet another interesting comment. It's coming on the back of an interesting kind of monologue this past weekend. Josh Rosen, UCLA quarterback who's not going to play in the Cactus Bowl, who's headed to the NFL draft, said something interesting today about where he would prefer to be drafted. This after stories about him not wanting to play for the Cleveland Browns. We'll get to that upcoming in the show. Wait to hear what Tony Gonzalez said about the future of the Dallas Cowboys. Tell if I agree or disagree. We'll get to that later on this hour as well. But in the meantime, let's talk about the matchup we saw yesterday in the NBA. Stop me if you heard this before, but the Warriors beat the Cavs. Kevin Durant was better in the fourth quarter than LeBron James. And I fully understand that any of us who have watched the NBA for the last 15 seasons understand how remarkable LeBron James has been and continues to be. So this isn't an argument as to who's had the better career. To this point, it's LeBron James. It's not even an argument for who's been the better all-around player. But if we use how you play in the second half and fourth quarter in important games as our guide, if we use the fact that he and Kevin Durant play essentially the same position, and Durant, unlike LeBron, runs 2 guarding LeBron, and we admit, though we have not received word as to what happened with the officials who must have swallowed their whistles and have to be surgically removed from their stomachs yesterday. Like, that was a brutally physical game. And even the most ardent Kevin Durant fan will tell you there were some calls that Kobe gets, that MJ gets, that LeBron, who creates contact and does play bully ball, didn't get yesterday. Like, that's fair. It's fair to say he did not get, Dwayne Wade did not get calls. But Kevin Durant shut down LeBron James. Kevin Durant was better in the fourth quarter than LeBron James. Kevin Durant was better in the fourth quarter and shut down LeBron James in the fourth quarter of NBA Finals games. We've had 6 games in a row of this iconic matchup with 2 of the absolute best to play the game. And when it's really hard to gauge stats, because stats aren't always telling, sometimes it's about the construct of it plays on a team to which he's got another 2 to game on his team. LeBron James' team is built completely differently, and it's going to evolve when Isaiah Thomas joins the team. So you kind of throw stats out the window because all you have to do is watch them actually play against one another. And isn't it fair to at least question whether or not Kevin Durant's better? Well, he's leading the NBA in blocks, so the whole idea that he doesn't play defense, okay, if you saw in the fourth quarter when Andre Iguodala wanted to switch onto LeBron James, like, no. I got him. He's even taken on kind of the black hat of being the bad guy in the NBA. He's blocking shots better. He's rebounding better. He's leading better. He's a better shooter, a better scorer. And though he's never going to be, nor has he ever been, the passer of LeBron James, he's willing to pass the ball. He's not taking terrible shots. And he's better in the fourth quarter when being guarded by and guarding LeBron James. What more evidence do you need that, at least at this point in time, though LeBron is still in great shape, and as the guys from Undisputed point out, he's never been hurt. Never been hurt. He continues to play at an incredibly efficient clip. Isn't Kevin Durant the better player? Why can't we admit that sometimes there is a newer model that improves on the old model? And if anything, if you actually want to draw a parallel, his game, Durant, his game is more like MJ. He's led the league in scoring 4 times. He was a guy who couldn't get over the hump in terms of getting back to the finals. Obviously, he had to join the Warriors in order to do so, but once he did and he got to the finals, he was the finals MVP. Jordan broke his foot early in his career. Kevin Durant broke his foot in his career. And Jordan, like Durant, was not the overall versatile defender of a LeBron James. LeBron can guard positions 1 through 5. Well, there's not one position to which he'll put you on lock. But Durant can guard the other team's best player, and that's what Michael Jordan would do. And if you want to draw the Jordan parallels even more clear, if you go back and remember, do you guys remember Jordan's last game as the Chicago Bull against the Utah Jazz? Everybody remembers the jump shot over Brian Russell, right? Remember how he got the jump shot? Stole the ball. Got away with what some others would be called for a foul. Kevin Durant is probably the only one who doesn't get called for a foul in that situation yesterday. One was a 50-50, probably more of a foul on the block shot, but he gets away with it because LeBron does play bully ball and because Kevin Durant's a remarkable shot blocker. I also think there's kind of a realness to him, even though when Kevin Durant brings up Twitter and tries to dismiss Twitter, it's the same Kevin Durant who defended himself with fake Twitter handles on Twitter. Here was KD when asked about those 50-50 calls after the game.
The key defensive play you made on LeBron was out of bounds to the Warriors late in the game. There was a lot of debate on Twitter about whether that was a foul.
On Twitter?
Yeah. Have you heard of it? But did it feel clean? Did you get a replay of it, like in your mind?
It felt clean. It's probably the same play a bunch of those dudes on Twitter probably arguing about in 24-hour fitness that wasn't a foul. So they've been in that position before, but just not on Christmas at the Oracle Arena. So they know if they ain't call it, it's not a foul. But I'm sure if they get that call next week in 24-hour fitness, they're gonna be pissed that it was off, that they called a foul. So keep that on Twitter.
I love that. He can demean and talk trash about Twitter, but he was the same guy who's defending himself on Twitter. As for 24-hour fitness, it's officially replaced playing at the park, right? Like everybody used to grow up playing at Park and Rec I grew up playing at Miles Square Park or 38th Street in Newport Beach, whatever. And KD grew up playing in his community center. Now dudes go play at 24-hour fitness and argue, and one guy calls a foul and grabs the ball and walks to the other end, and the other guys sit there and walk to the other end. And guys are waiting like, come on, man, we're waiting. Let's go. Yo, I call ball. Check up. That's exactly what happened. And it could have gone either way, and it didn't. But I like the fact that Durant has taken on this, I'll be the bad guy. It's lasted longer. Remember, LeBron, when he switched teams to Miami, he was the bad guy for about a year and a half, and that's what's happened with Kevin Durant. He's been the bad guy. But you have to like the fact that he wants the ball, takes the ball, willing to take and make the big shot, willing to guard the other team's best player, and has made himself into not just an active defender, but he's leading the NBA in block shots. So you can dismiss him because he joined the Warriors and they already had 2 players, but it's also safe to say that it's a really smart decision because it shows you just how talented he is, that because of how the Warriors are built, there's no Andre Robertson, so you're not playing 4-on-5 on offense. He knows no one can guard him, and he knows that he can guard LeBron. And if you want to use stats, that's fine. But the stats that generally matter, what do you do in the fourth quarter? What do you do when you're guarding the other team's best player? And whose team wins the game? And in the NBA Finals, which is when we're supposed to judge people, and going back into last night and Christmas, he has dominated that one-on-one matchup. Don't believe me? The stats tell you. Look at LeBron shooting in the fourth quarter when guarded by Durant. 0 of 4. When guarded by others, a little bit different story. Did he get away with 1, possibly 2 fouls? Absolutely. I'm not going to sit here and dispute otherwise. That, in fact, is basketball. And the other part is that LeBron kind of can't get his own shot unless he goes downhill and bullies you. In no way am I demeaning the remarkable career of LeBron James and the overall versatility. But you have to open yourself up to at least the idea he's not the best player in the NBA anymore. All right, send all hate mail, including that from Nick Wright. I'm sure there's a Nick Wright tweet coming at some point, but I love Nick. Of course, he co-hosts First Things First, which you can hear on Sirius XM Channel 83, of course, see on Fox Sports 1. But, all right, we'll talk some more Bron and KD throughout the show. We still